do some Reiki energy right
That's
here.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is Natalie. She is actually a Reiki instructor, and she does Reiki on people. She actually used to be a registered nurse
Hmm.
working in the hospital.
Still am.
You still are,
Hmm.
but do you still work at the hospital?
No.
Yeah, because you feel like you could help people more with naturopathic, holistic medicine,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Last time we talked, you got into the Reiki world, but now
Hmm.
you got into something called data healing.
Hmm.
Tell us more about that.
Yes. So, theta healing, like we talked about before, does refer to the theta brain wave. So, with theta, we are basically dealing with belief systems, whether it be ancestral or your own. Typically, I'm seeing that they aren't yours. A lot of them aren't yours, or they are attached to a trauma that have belief systems in place with emotions. So, once we can get to those, then we can start healing.
Okay, and
Yeah.
do you carry these traumas in your body, in
Yes.
your genetics?
Body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I feel like it's passed down from like your grandfather or your great grandfather to you,
Yes.
so it's somewhere in your genes, and then
You
it's
know,
you hang on to it in your
the
body.
genetic word is super difficult for me because, like, as a nurse and working in the hospital, they almost make it seem like a genetic thing is not curable. It's just who you are and you identify with that, right? So, yes, it is genetics because it's passed down. I think it's like a learned thing a lot of times, and it's passed down because a lifestyle is similar.
Have those people taught to Bruce Lipton?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
epigenetics.
Yes.
Literally, he was able to prove that you could. I mean, you could still have the gene,
Hmm.
but you could shut it off,
Yeah.
so you're not affected by it anymore.
Yeah.
So technically, it's dormant.
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So when people were like taunting him, like, "Yeah, I have cancer. It runs in my family. I'm gonna get it," and you probably will end up getting it because you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
But if you say, "Hey, you know what? It's my choice. I could turn that off,"
Hmm.
you can also do that too.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how it's done. It's probably done under theta mindset,
Yeah. Yeah.
deep meditation,
Yeah.
but it's definitely possible.
I agree. I mean, I've read a lot of books about just the power of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a big deal. Like, if people that think they have bad luck, it's because they're constantly thinking they have bad luck, and then they keep having bad luck, and it's just this vicious cycle. So, yeah, thoughts are a big deal, but also, I mean, thoughts, you have to kind of almost believe them before you see them. It's like you have to feel it because you could be thinking one thing and then feeling one way. And it's really the vibration and the frequency that you're giving off. It's not just because you're telling yourself every morning that you're amazing, but do you like feel that way? Right? It has to be a feel.
You have to feel it.
You have to feel it. You have to believe it.
Okay.
And that's easier said than done. I'm not saying that's
It
super
is
easy.
until it becomes easy. You do it enough
Until
times.
it does become easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm experiencing that for sure.
Well, there's this meditation. When I used to go on these meditation seminars or retreats, they used
Uh-huh.
to do something called the walking meditation, where you're doing the meditation as you're walking.
Yeah, I've heard
You're
that.
walking into your future self.
Hmm.
So you're kind of like getting used to that.
Yeah,
So
you're
when,
creating a story
yeah,
for
exactly.
yourself. Yeah. And we
Which,
all create stories.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to data.
Yeah.
How's that different from Reiki?
So Reiki is, I mean, it's all very similar. Okay, so depending on your belief system, you can call it universal energy, you can call it creator
Can I call
of
it the
all that
force?
is, you can call it the force or God or whatever. But they're basically the same energy. That energy is coming from the same space. It's just how it's delivered. So with Reiki, it is I am a vessel that the energy is passing through to you. Theta is very similar. However, we're actually digging deeper and we're getting into like the traumas and the emotions and the belief systems that are just stuck and stored and causing stagnancy. So that's why I found the two together have helped so much because with theta, they're being pulled up and Reiki is just like pushing
How
them.
would you know someone has trauma? Do they tell you
Um,
beforehand, or you kind of like feel it, or you try to like guess it, or
Typically people coming to see me because something's either missing or they just feel off. And when people feel off, it's because they're not in alignment with, I like to call it like a guidance system, your intuition. So they're typical people that are just on the path and they're just doing great. And I don't believe anybody is just perfect. So when they're coming to see me, it's because there's something that they're stuck in their body.
and do they tell you specifically what's going on?
Not always.
That's what I mean.
Not
Like,
always.
do you sometimes just guess like, hey, it's something that has to do with this, and like, oh wow,
Yeah, so over time, my gifts are stronger. So I'll typically do a reading just to kind of open them up.
is it a gift or a talent? No.
I think it is a gift that needs to or gets to be practiced. It's not just something that just comes. You get to practice it. You get to fine tune it, right? And I think everybody has abilities like this.
Okay.
It's just how much do you want to put your energy towards it? And for me, I just find it super rewarding because I mean, I love helping people. I like to see them evolve and heal and feel better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Um,
I love it.
so over time it just gets better, or are you just becoming more intuitive?
So when I think both. I think both. And I think when they do come see me, like they're not so sure what to expect. They've heard of Reiki, they don't really know
Uh-huh.
what it's like, and they're nervous because they don't know me and they don't know how much they want to tell me or how much they want to divulge. And so it's really just creating that connection with them and letting them know that it is a safe space and the things that are brought up are specifically for them and their healing. And no judgment, nothing. It's just I want to help them heal. So yeah, I mean we have a discussion. I do a reading, which generally that opens them up because they're like, whoa, how did you know that? How'd you have any idea about that? So and then we end up having a discussion about it, and then we get them on the Reiki table and do
Yeah,
Reiki and pain.
okay.
Hmm.
Interesting. And other than the Reiki, but is it like you say you put this energy inside of them? I just want to understand how theta works per se.
So
Do you put
theta,
them in like a theta brainwave state?
yeah. So theta, you don't even have to put them on the table. Like
No.
I could just be doing that with you, having a conversation, and
That's funny because I was watching a documentary yesterday
mm-hmm,
called The Divine Matrix,
uh-huh,
where it was this guy taught to his 5-year-old kid, and he was doing like this with his hand
uh-huh,
while talking to the kid, and the kid had like multiple palsy, and his hands were like this, crippled,
uh-huh.
and like apparently within 5 minutes he got up and he was able to walk, and he was like, oh, he was like playing, and he was like completely went away, and he's
Yeah,
like, sir, watch this, I can hold a cup with my hands.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of stories
Is
like
that
that.
data?
Theta, yeah, very much so.
Like, but he was doing some stuff with his hand. He never even touched the kid.
Well, that could be a little bit of somatic stuff too, like just the energy of the body and like being able to feel the energy of the body.
Yeah.
And I'm super fascinated with
Yeah, but
somatic
one
work too.
person was able to cure some other person's disease without touching them,
Yeah, yeah,
where they
exactly.
said that it's impossible.
It's not.
I mean, like modern day
Yeah.
doctors are saying it's impossible or highly improbable, and he was able to do it.
Well, it's kind of like Ho'oponopono, like that book Zero Limits. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So it's a psychiatrist that went to this prison. It was a psychiatric prison that no one could. I mean, they just kept getting worse and worse. There was no recovery on their end, and he would go in and read their files. Never met any of the inmates, and he would almost look at this as a mirror. Like, how is it that I took place, and like, how is it that I played a role in their disease? So he just did the Ho'oponopono, which was I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, and looked into himself and figured out how to heal himself first. And he literally healed all of these people without even meeting them or touching them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
yeah.
Yeah, but okay, cool.
Because have you heard that, like, so I believe anyone I come in contact with, there is a reason. I really do. And then people that come see me, they're healing things that somehow I play a part of. We're all
Well,
one,
you're
right?
the practitioner, so you are playing the part of a healer in a
No,
sense. Well, they came to you directly.
well, I mean that there is something about them that I can heal within myself, and it happens every time. There is
Really?
something in them that I can heal within myself every single time. So when you're triggered, that is literally something that's taking place that is mirroring you. That's a way for you to turn inward and be like, okay, why is this triggering me, and how do I heal that within myself? It may look a little bit different, right? Because we all react and respond in different ways, but there is something that there's a mirror going on there.
There's some,
Yeah, I know
okay.
that's a hard one to grasp.
No, I can understand it.
Hmm.
You try to see other people within
Otherwise, why
yourself.
else would you be triggered? I mean, that's like a brilliant indicator that your body's saying, this doesn't feel right. I'm being triggered. Why am I being triggered? Because if it didn't bother you, if there was no belief system there or something that's blocking, you wouldn't be triggered. It wouldn't be something for you to heal.
Maybe, yeah. And it's probably an unconscious belief system. You're not even aware of it.
Yep. A lot of that stuff is unconscious. A lot of it. And I
Not
find a
even,
lot of those in my meditations.
I've been meditating, just asking my subconscious stuff now.
Do it.
Dude, and I've been asking, like, can you help me improve my memory? Or my memory has already
Or
improved.
what's blocking me from not having
Yeah.
a
And, like, the answers just come to me.
it does.
Dude, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, your body will talk to you. If you can get in that mindset of stillness and quiet, your body will talk to
Like literally my subconscious.
you.
Like, it's not like my subconscious talks to me like, hey, buddy, what's going on? But it's like the answer just pops into my head, or a picture of it, or
Yeah.
something I'm really comfortable with.
Do you ever get any sort of belief systems that come up from that? Like, can you turn them into a belief system?
How so?
Okay, well, if you ask yourself a question, I don't know, what do you typically ask yourself? Like, if you're meditating, something that you want to work on.
I just say connect my heart and brain, heart brain coherence. Let it connect, let it sync together.
Uh-huh.
Just enjoy the ride.
Okay. So, typically when I'm doing meditation, like if there's something that's bothering me, let's say I was triggered with I'm just going to use this because this was one of mine. Someone called me stupid. No one
Okay.
called me stupid, but the word stupid triggered me hardcore. And so I would sit with that in meditation and I would ask myself, okay, why am I being triggered from this word? Where is this stemming from? I would ask myself
Okay,
questions.
okay. You're trying
Okay?
to go within to find the answer.
Exactly. And you like you said, it will always come. But for me, especially with, really trying to fine tune and increase my psychic abilities,
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to channel people now. I'm able to like almost like talk. Like it was my uncle. My uncle, anyways, that's a long story, but there was a situation with him where he was literally just belittled and called stupid and just a whole bunch of horrible things. And that belief system was his that was transferred through the family line.
Did he ever babysit you?
I was around him a lot.
Yeah, so that might be it.
You know
Maybe
what I
he's all like,
mean?
oh, I'm so stupid for doing this.
Oh, that's how he felt stupid. He felt stupid. And when that took place, his body literally froze. The emotions, the traumatic event froze. And it was like he felt like was responding to life as like an 8-year-old. And he
Okay.
always felt like he was just a child. Like
Did he get over that, or?
no,
Oh man, that
he
sucks.
didn't. But for me to break that cycle, you recognize it, you can literally release it, give it to the universe, God, whatever. Sometimes it's not that easy. There's many layers involved, but sometimes it is. It literally is just done.
Boom,
Yeah,
snap of your finger.
yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
yeah.
That's for trauma, but I'm talking about for like next level stuff. Like, I don't know. Let's say you want to have better memory,
Yeah.
and like I'm like, hey, help me recall things faster.
I would say, is there a traumatic event that is blocking you from having memory of what?
Let's say reading a book, and I want to recall the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that there was probably something that took place when you were younger or growing up, or it could be a belief
Uh huh.
that is stopping you from the memory of, or at least holding on to the memory because it was protecting you in some way. That would be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah. And it
Cool.
would be more of like really tuning into that and sitting with that. And probably maybe even like working with the body a little bit sometimes. That
Yeah.
helps.
Like you said something about my stomach.
Hmm.
There's some trauma there.
I did.
You told me. Yeah, you
I
texted
did.
me.
I did.
Yeah, you did. I don't care. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. You texted me like, hey, I think there's something going on with your stomach.
Yes.
Because I told you about it, and you're like, I don't know what it is. It could be trauma. I'm
Yeah.
like, it could be. I don't know.
Well, a lot of people process with their gut.
Yeah.
So traumas that are stored here, 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 you're processing here. So a lot can be stored there, but you're literally processing. I do it, and that's why I know. Like if I'm anxious or something took, like I'm triggered or whatever, even if it's in a different area of my body, like I'm processing in my gut.
Because that's like your third brain.
I mean, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. And
Second brain, even.
your heart's your second brain.
Yeah.
Or your heart's your first brain. And
It depends on what book you're reading, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like more often than not, when you follow your heart,
Hmm.
tends to guide you the right way.
I agree.
Seriously. When you follow your brain,
Hmm.
tends to have some self sabotage.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure. I mean, I've went in different areas. Like I'll sit and like really focus on my heart chakra, or I'll focus on my sacral or my solar plexus, right? And it's like you kind of receive things differently depending on kind of where you're focused. So I agree. I really try and focus on my heart chakra.
and okay,
I
so
hold it a lot there.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's good.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
makes the
mean,
world go round.
a lot of my walls, I should say, are
Good.
here. Yeah.
And as far as the data school that you went to, what's the practice called per se?
Theta healing.
Data healing.
Yeah.
During this data healing program or course that you took, what did you guys learn about how to heal people?
Well, the whole process of it all was learning how to get to the questions, or and for sure get people comfortable to where they're
Yeah.
answering those
Well, if you're
questions.
laying down, you're more comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people feel, because I'll put something over their eyes, like I'll put on music and I'll set the tone where it's very relaxing. And we've already had a discussion before, so they're already opened up.
But they
Sometimes
voluntarily came here, so
they voluntarily came here, yeah.
yeah. Unless their wife made them come
Yeah, and
here.
I've had that.
You've had that too?
Yes, I've
Yeah, of
had that.
course.
Yeah. And
Like, I think
it
this is BS. I'm
it
here,
still
whatever.
worked well. It worked well, but yeah, it's not always long lasting when they don't want to be here for them
Yeah. But that's the people that have the most transcendental experience.
if they're open.
If they're open to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, I mean, my practice has evolved. I mean, it's really fun to see where it started and where it is now, and it's just gonna get better, and I just get more and more passionate about it. It's great
Good,
for
good.
me. Yeah.
Okay, so they lay down, and
hmm
what do you do? Like, do you like ask them questions, like trigger questions, and you see how their body reacts?
No, so typically, some people just want to naturally talk. They want to talk through it, and some don't. They're really nervous. So I will just wait until something comes up for me. And then when a belief system comes up, I'll say, how does this resonate with you when this comes up? Sometimes they're like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Or sometimes they just start crying because it literally is just releasing that from their body.
Have you had people just yell uncontrollably?
Cry uncontrollably, not yell.
Not yell, but
Mm-mm.
cry,
Yeah,
like sobbing, like someone just died right in front of them,
I have
like
had
that.
that. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying no, come back to me, but like literally cry their eyes out.
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
And that was that trauma that they needed to let go?
yeah.
Did they feel like the weight of the world was lifted off their
I mean, they
shoulders?
feel lighter, right? But I mean, also sometimes those are like beliefs, like those are patterns that they're reliving, and so it's like you remove that, and they feel lighter, and then they come back the next week, and they're like, oh, like it's almost like they feel like they need this, and it's like that's not the point. The point is this could be layers. It's not like you're taking steps back. You're fixing it. You're resolving another layer of the same symptom, of the same symptoms,
So
of the
you're
same
peeling
trauma.
the onion?
Yeah.
You're peeling the onion.
And I've gone through that so much in my healing where I healed something and I'm like, yes, this is great. And then like another trigger, like someone is brought into my life to trigger me in the same area,
Mm-hmm.
same thing.
And they triggered you.
Yes. Well,
I mean,
yes.
everybody, you're human.
Yes.
Shit happens, dude. You're human.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, I don't know, superhuman. You're human.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be superhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, with some thought process.
I've heard that.
Speaking about that,
Yeah.
do you put them in like that theta brainwave
Tip,
where they're more comfortable, or is it you just want to get them comfortable? You don't really care where they are as long as they're open and comfortable to you.
yeah, I think the thing is just more openness and more if the connection's there, they're more than willing to like receive the healing.
Yeah.
The receptivity is so important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
But
it.
it's about making them feel comfortable. And before they come in, like I'm cleaning the space, I'm cleaning the energy, and I'm inviting in like angels, guides that are going to assist in their healing and for their highest and best good. Like I always make sure it's for their highest and best good. It's 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 been phenomenal. I love
Good.
it. I
Good.
mean, a lot of my clients since I've started doing both of them, they're just the difference. They're just like, wow, what was that? Like that was amazing.
Let me ask you, the clientele that comes in,
hmm
is there like any doctors, any physicists, any of those people,
I've
or not
had
really?
I've had doctors.
Really?
I've had honestly I've had all sorts of all walks of life.
So it's not just like one category,
No,
like artists,
no.
nothing like that. So
Mm-mm.
you've had doctors and
Mm-mm.
like people that are highly educated
Mm-hmm.
just come in.
Yep.
Were those the one that the wife brought them, or they're like they just came in voluntarily?
The one that was a doctor the wife brought. Yeah. Yep.
Was he open to it though, or it was
He
like
was open to it. I wished at the time that I don't even like to say that because I think it was exactly what he needed at the time. So
good,
yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good?
So that one went really well. But yeah, I mean, people, I mean, highly educated in their field.
But here's the thing that I've learned. Well, like supernatural, metaphysical things. If you believe it's actually going to help you,
hmm
it really will. But
Yeah.
if you're totally against it, it's really not going to do anything. Like you could be like the best Reiki person.
Yeah.
If like someone's totally against the idea, like this is rubbish,
Yeah.
I feel like it's really not going to help them.
Yeah.
But even if you have like, but if someone's like a so-so Reiki person, and that person 100% believes in Reiki,
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
mean, it's
that
like just totally
receptivity
didn't believe.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Like you said earlier, you have to believe something happens before you can see it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yes and no, because I think like there is more of a divine power here.
But aren't you opening yourself up to that divine power
You
when you have that belief?
you are, and you wouldn't necessarily be here if there wasn't a glimpse of. It's like you talk about love and hate, like you just need a drop. If love is the ocean, you just need one drop.
I don't know. Some people are good at nagging their wives or husbands to come in here. Like shit. Did if I do this,
Yeah.
she'll get off my back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like that small category. But
Yeah.
even if those people, they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe deep down inside, like, dude, I really need this. I hope this shit works. And they come in, boom.
But you have you ever heard that saying of like there can be two people and they are saying the same thing, but for whatever reason you're drawn to one person because they have the confidence, they have that energy about them, like you're drawn to them,
Yeah.
right? And if you're creating a space where you're welcome and you feel like you're being listened to and you feel like you're having a voice and all these things, I think that's a big part of all this. It's like I want to make sure that they are comfortable and they feel loved and welcomed and I'm actually listening to what they're
Well,
saying.
and you seem very passionate about what you're doing. You
I love
literally
it.
left like a really good paying career to
Oh,
do Reiki or start from scratch.
yeah.
So, and you must really believe in this.
I do. I love it.
Yeah,
It's
I know,
helped
I
it's
know you
helped
do.
me wonders. And
But
then I started doing theta and it was just like a game
but
changer. Like,
here's a problem I have with people. I mean, the ones that believe in it, I'm sure you could really help them.
hmm
But there's a saying: wherever I go, there I am,
yes.
or wherever you go, there you are.
Yes.
So if you have the same shitty negative mindset,
hmm
doesn't matter where you go, there you
Oh,
are.
but that can be fit. I hate the word fixed too. I don't like that word, but that can be changed.
That could be changed.
Mindset can be changed.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to be open to it though. Because
You do.
I have like a cousin. He's like 24, fat,
hmm
overweight, always in and out of the hospital. He's always asking for help, but he doesn't care. He just keeps eating.
Yeah.
Borderline diabetic. Doesn't
Yeah.
want to change.
Yeah. Or is that just a belief system that he's unaware of?
That probably trends from his father or something like that. But it's definitely, yeah.
I mean, even with me, like things that I'm learning that were passed down from my parents. I've had many conversations with my parents that I would have never had 10 years ago. Because it's like I am so focused on healing myself, which is important for my practice
Mm.
with others too. I want to be a clean vessel. I'm cleaning. So just conversations that I've had with them and just talking to them about their past and how they were raised, and it brings up belief systems that I'm like, you can muscle test for these things too.
Yeah, start kinesiology.
hmm
Yeah, you can.
So, and your body will respond. It's like, oh, I didn't even know I had that belief system. I didn't even know that was stuck somewhere in
That's
my
your
body.
subconscious.
Yeah,
Or if you want to make it easier, you just get a pendulum and
that
you
too.
start asking yourself questions.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah, that is like mind blowing.
For me, I've found that with the muscle testing, it's a way because a lot of people don't trust their body. They don't know how to. So trusting your body, this is a way of practicing trusting your body because your body will tell you with a yes or a no. And some people like it takes a while to practice this and be really okay with testing. But at first they're like, I don't want to do that. Like I don't trust myself. I don't trust that like it's gonna be the right answer. Like so it's a good practice.
That's funny because I talk to people all day in the medical field,
hmm
take a lot of medicine, and like yeah, I go over their medical charts,
hmm
and like oh yeah, I got off of this pill and that pill. I'm like why? Well, the doctor told me I had to take it, and I was like nah, that stuff is making me sick. And then the doctor started arguing with me, so I started
Yeah.
arguing with the doctor like I know my body better than you know me, and then they stopped taking it and they actually got better.
Yeah.
It's like I actually got better, sweetie. Like
Yeah.
I don't need this garbage anymore. It was killing me. It's like the doctor thinks they can heal me, but you know.
I had a doctor once. It was a really good friend, but when I was working in the medical profession, I was just having gut issues, and they were putting me on meds, and
Yeah, yeah.
it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right, and I was like, I can't take these. I gotta find a better way. And he was basically saying, if you don't follow my recommendations, like basically, I'm gonna fire you as a patient. And I was like, that right there was like, okay, fire me. I don't care, right? Because
But
I know my body better.
but it also goes the other way too. Like for me per se, I was like coughing for like 3 weeks last year,
hmm
end of August, October, and apparently I was burning cinnamon, and I don't know, I'm allergic to cinnamon, but I was doing it, and I was like doing the meditation to go away, but it started getting worse and worse because I was just burning cinnamon more and more in my room, and there's
Yeah.
no airflow. And like I started, it was like I was on the phones for like 10, 12 hours a day, and it came to a point where I started coughing blood, and I was like, after 3 weeks, and I was like fighting it to death,
Ye-
like I'm not going to the hospital or anything.
Yeah,
And
I
I just
mean,
went,
for sure go to
and I
the
was trying to like
doctor. Yeah.
manifest it to go away while I was burning it out the next day, you know. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it was like yin and yang.
No, I get that.
Yeah, but I went to the urgent care, and I
Uh-huh.
was talking to the guy. I was like, "Hey, I'm really against medicine." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "Tell me your symptoms." This guy was actually pretty smart. He's like, "All right." He's like, "I'm not gonna give you medicine, but he's like, take this inhaler. It's a steroid."
Mhm.
And he's like, "It'll help you." He's like, "And just clean out your room. Whatever you're doing, just
Yeah.
stop doing it." It's like,
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, just stop in a week. It's like, but give it a week, and literally just everything went away.
Yeah,
So
no.
it actually helps. So sometimes listening to the doctor helps too.
Yeah, for
Yeah, I was
sure.
like, I'll try it for a week,
Yeah.
and then after that, I'm not. But actually, within that week, I completely got better.
But I mean, what if he would have said something just so far out of your like comfort zone that didn't even make sense to you? You
Like
wouldn't have
anal
done it.
beats or what?
Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't have done it, right?
I mean,
It had to have
depends.
kind of made sense.
Yeah, it did. But I mean, the way he described it, he's like, this is a steroid. He's like, it's not like a steroid or shot. He's like, this is for your lungs. It's very
Yeah.
different. You're inhaling it. It was alburyl sulfate, the
Well, I mean,
inhaler,
and you were
Ventolin.
coughing up blood too, so that's
It
you were
was
at a
pretty
point.
bad. Yeah, I was at a point. I was like, all right, maybe I
Just
should.
give me something.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
give me something.
I've
Let me
been
try
there.
it.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
there.
and I did actually went away. So sometimes to listen to the doctor at that point, it was good. But
That's
I
great.
figured out it wasn't the inhaler kind of only helped me a little bit, but I had to stop the symptoms, which were the cinnamon.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really like taking Tylenol or ibuprofen or none of that.
hmm
But like, there's times where I'm like, okay, like
dude, you know what helps
I'm gonna
me?
take it.
Ice baths and ice
Yeah,
showers.
yeah,
Do
those
them
are
every
good.
day now.
Do you? Do you have one at your house?
I do the ice shower. We're in Utah, so it's pretty cold.
Yeah, sure.
3 minutes,
Yeah.
right when you wake up,
Yeah.
cold. It's like woo. 3 minutes, like my fingers are numb,
I
and
haven't
like
done an ice shower in
it
a
will.
while.
It's like 3 cups of coffee right when you wake up.
Yeah. So is breath work though.
Breath work too.
I'm telling you, breath work, I love it. I just can't get enough of it. Like right in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I've done it before a meditation, a long one, and it really helps because you're already in the zone. Think
I'm
about that.
Oh, right when you wake up?
No, it doesn't matter when you do the breath work.
Yeah.
You know how you're already in that nice zone.
Yes.
You jump into our meditation,
Yes.
and you're
Yes.
already deep.
No, you're
Because
right.
during the meditation, you have to kind of like work your way
Yeah.
into like calming down your brain waves. You're stressed out, whatever. You have to drop that.
Yeah.
You're already in there.
No, I believe that.
But those ice showers, I mean, I preach that stuff to people. I actually told the 7-Eleven guy because I always saw his arm would hurt, and I would talk to him because I used to go in and just buy like snacks like M&Ms. And he's like this. I'm like, dude. He's like, oh, you're in the medical field. What should I do? I'm like, dude, I'm not a doctor, but I'm like, just do ice baths or
Yeah.
ice showers. He's like, put your hand in there. He looked at me like I was stupid. Like literally, he stopped me and was just looking at me like.
You just
I,
you just planted a seed though.
but this is what I told him. I was like, listen. I'm like, how much is this gonna cost you? He's like, well, it's nothing. He's like, I have a bunch of ice. I have an ice machine. I can just put it in there. I saw him like 3 days later. He's like, hey, look, I'm not wearing the vest anymore. I'm like, why? He's like, oh, I did it. He's like, it's just been helping me so much. He's like, no more pain. It's gone. I was like, I told you. He's like, oh, your genes. I was like, nah, I learned it from Wim Hof. I was
You're
like,
like-
just Wim Hof, and I started sending videos, and this guy was blown away. He's like, just try hot. And he started showing
I
me the
love
next
that
day.
he actually did it.
He's like, he showed me. I was in he's like, he hiked a mountain. His underwear. He's like, this guy's nuts. I was like, well, you tried it. You're not nuts. It worked. He's like,
yeah.
and he had like epiphany.
Some people, I've been noticing this too. A lot of people carry stuff. Like I've been removing a lot of beliefs in fingers. It's almost like you can kind of push things through and then they get stuck on
But-
your limb on your
But isn't it like your toes are connected to your heart, or something in the bottom of your feet?
Yes, there
something's-
is
there's-
somewhere.
Pressure points.
Uh-huh.
So is it really your fingers, or is it like the connection?
Like the meridian type stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I know that with Reiki, people are releasing through their feet, their hands, their crown. Like you're releasing elbow, like the exit points are those points.
You said meridian. Axon points.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So remember Eagle? That's been on my podcast.
Yeah.
The guy, the metaphysics guy.
Yeah.
He did like a 88-point meridian massage on me for like an hour and a half, and my body was shaking like this the whole time.
Yeah.
It was like energy just like blasting through me.
And so, what was the purpose of that?
He's like, it's supposed to calm you down, and just like
Was
what
like
if
on
you
your
have,
nervous system? Is that what it's working towards, or
yeah.
Yeah.
But he barely touched me. He was touching me actually.
Yeah.
He's like, can I touch you? I was like, yeah. He's like, he barely touched me, like a little like poke, couple places on my body, and I don't know. He was doing like kind of Reiki mixed in, and it was like my body was like shaking.
Really?
Yeah. It was
So
insane.
just touching like meridian points or
Yeah.
pressure points?
Meridian points.
Really?
Yeah, it was very light.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
that was crazy. Like it was like he's like, dude, you're gone.
Yeah.
Said, where were you? I was like, I don't know, bro.
So
The
do you
void.
remember it?
Remember the beginning and the end. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, it was like one of those times where I go into theta meditation.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you a different
Yeah, I
brain
was
wave?
like in a really good place, and my friend was there filming me. Like part of times, like bro, he's like, you're like
So you
out.
purposely went into a different brain wave, like you were purposely trying to get into a meditative state, or is
Well,
it
I was just
something that
calming
he
down.
induced?
I feel like a little bit of both.
Okay.
I was calming down, and I was like, I'm just gonna go into deep meditation, and plus I believed in him, and I paid him a little money for it.
Yeah.
So like the belief system and all those things
Yeah.
kind of fell into place. But it was good. It was like better than any massage I've ever had.
Really?
And he didn't really like massage me.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting.
Yeah, that guy is very interesting.
He has a PhD in metaphysics and consciousness. Like, who the fuck has a PhD in metaphysics and consciousness?
Yeah, I don't know
Eagle,
anybody.
check him out. Shout out, Sedona.
Eagle.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
he was
that's
telling me about
interesting.
crazy stuff, like how the past, future, and the present are all
Mhm.
connected
Yeah.
through your consciousness. And then I was reading some books about like the CIA doing experiments and stuff,
Mhm.
because they do like whatever we're talking about. They've been doing this since the '60s,
Yeah.
and so is the KGB in China. Apparently, they do time machines
Okay.
because your mind is non-local.
Okay.
So it can go out of space, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it could go out of time.
Mhm.
And like apparently they could view different timelines.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, really, there's no time, really. I mean, there's no time. There is like because
Well, it's invented.
it's invented. Yeah.
Yeah, it's invented for us
Yeah.
to all like meet at a certain point.
I mean, even with the human body, it's like obviously everyone believes differently, but even with the human body, it's like, yeah, there's a time with that, but even after that, there's no time. Like you're still a spirit, you're still there, you're still energy.
But
So,
but where?
yeah, well, I guess it depends on what you read too. I mean,
Or it
there's so
depends on
many.
if you have a near-death experience too.
I mean,
That'll help you out.
I mean, a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them are very similar in experiences. It's
Or
like,
yeah, it's like having a DMT trip,
yeah,
and literally people change their whole mindsets.
there's no time in a DMT trip. No time. Like you're like literally fast forwarding and like
Well, people tell me they have a lot of visual experiences. Like I've never done it myself, but it's like having a lot of what do they call it? Kaleidoscopes and
yeah, I've
geometric
done it.
shapes. Oh, have you done it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it.
How was that? Tell me,
I
tell me.
I've heard that you actually can the more you do, the more that comes. So the first time it was just like that. It was a kaleidoscope. It was just and the experience is crazy when you first like take it because it's like, whoa, I took too much. That's the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just fall into this like timeless like it's just such a beautiful feeling, but you don't it's like you're just connected with I don't know, it's like mushrooms. I felt the same way with
Haven't
mushrooms.
done anything.
It was just like a connection that I've never felt before. I felt it now because I have tried different things, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a connection that I had never felt before, like with everybody that was in the room.
Have you
And
done ayahuasca?
no, I don't know if that's for me. I don't
Mm.
know if that's like for me.
Yeah.
I'm not like called to it. I
Yeah.
there was a time where I was thinking about it. Even mushrooms, like I have a group of girls that are talking about doing like something together, and I'm like, I just don't think that's for me right now. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
That means you're in a higher place. You don't need that shit.
I mean, here's the thing too, though, is I wouldn't be where I am today, or at least where I am today now,
Mm-hmm.
if it weren't for those experiences. And so, like, I see mushrooms and I see DMT and I see all these because I know people that have done them, and I see the benefit that it was for them. And so you start talking about like other people's journeys and what works for them and what doesn't. It's like everyone is so different in getting to their destination. It's like I used to think, well, if it worked for me, then it's got to work for everybody because it
Yeah,
worked for
no.
me. And it's like that is so far, couldn't be so far from the truth. And I know that now, but I didn't at the time.
Do you think all roads lead to the same path?
I mean, where do you want to go?
I mean, I think that everyone just wants to be happy and
Yeah,
welcomed and loved,
I
right?
I think all roads do, but it's like how hard do you want to make it?
That's true, but
And how
that's you.
quickly do you want to get there?
Yeah, get out of your own way, stupid.
Yeah, I mean, so like with Reiki and Theta, it's like I am who I am today because of those things. I really am. Like they helped me open up and break down these walls and like really heal
And see
in a lot
behind
of
the veil.
ways. Yeah. So I think that I don't know. I think that we heal with each other. I think, and if that includes like plant medicine and that's your path and that's what like popped you out of something or brought something to your attention, then that's what you need. I don't see anything wrong with any of that stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
It just may not be
I
for
used to,
others.
honestly, I used to be against it. Like, no, you're lazy. You should be meditating 2, 3 hours a day. I was like, dude, people have families. They can't really do it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you do it a couple times, that's cool. But if you're starting to rely on it, that might become an issue.
But that's the thing too, is like, what is time really? Because like I've had half-hour meditations
Hmm.
that are mind-blowing, and then I've had 2-hour ones that are like, oh, that was good.
Well, yeah,
It's like there are some days that I cannot get past things, and it's not as smooth of a
that's when you
meditation.
ask your subconscious why.
Yeah. And so,
Really, yeah.
and then you start healing those things, but some I can get right into it and nothing's in my way.
Try a cold shower before you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm literally.
Oh.
So I've been. I have this heartbeat monitor that
Mm-hmm.
tells my resting heartbeat
Mm-hmm.
every time I jump into a cold shower, and this is like 3 minutes. It has to be super cold, like Utah snow cold.
Yeah.
After that, for the rest of the day, my heartbeat's like 5 to 10 beats slower. That means my body and I am a lot calmer and stress free. 10 beats
Sure.
is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure.
I
That
preach
makes
that
sense.
stuff. Yeah.
Or even, are you not doing breath work anymore?
No, not really. I haven't done too often.
Not going, but doing it on your own.
No, not really.
No?
No.
You were into that.
Yeah, I still think it's awesome.
Oh.
But like I haven't just gone like Wim Hof. Yeah, that guy's
Just
cool.
yeah, I mean, cuz a lot of times for me when I wake up in the mornings, my brain just turns on, right? It's like it starts thinking about all the stuff that I wasn't thinking about when I was sleeping. So, I get up and I do breath work, and it literally just like how you explained it with the shower. That's how I
Hmm.
feel. I feel like it almost just relieves the stress, and it just like I can remove it from my body. It's like it's not needed, right?
Try smoking a cigarette. That'll help. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. Don't. But I mean, that's what people do too, right? When they wake up,
They do.
just go sit on
But
the
like
toilet.
you always advocate and talk about, like, your body is so amazing and it
It
can get
is.
to those places on
Yeah.
its own by,
Yeah.
easily.
It is, but it takes practice too. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm here,
Yeah.
or you could
But
do it.
once you fine tune and you figure it out, it's like you crave it. It's like
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah.
But it does take
But
time.
here's the thing. I've realized. Well, now I've been doing it. I've been getting there. It came to a point where it was a chore.
Yeah.
So I was doing it 2 hours a day, and I was
Oh.
listening to some podcasts. And then shout out to Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
He was like, just sit down for a minute or two. Just set an intention. So you don't have to meditate 2, 3 hours a day.
Right.
And my other friend, that's a meditation coach. He's like, look, just like the point is to get down quicker.
Yeah.
Into that state. He's like sometimes it takes people an hour, 2 hours, but he's like the more you do it, you're gonna get better at getting there.
Yeah.
Your body and your mind, they're gonna fight you less
Yeah.
because they know it's good for you. So if you do less, eventually, it's like just have purpose, intention.
Yeah, and intention.
Yeah, that helps. So
Yeah.
I've been doing. I mean, I'm still doing an hour and a half to 2 hours,
Uh-huh.
but sometimes when I do like the hour and a half, I don't feel as guilty. Like I didn't do my
Yes.
2 hours of meditation today,
Yeah.
But then but I set an intention, like, okay, why am I meditating right now? Like, oh, is it a chore? It's like, oh, is it my nightly meditation?
Mhm.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Do you time yourself when you meditate?
Well, I have like guided meditation or like silence meditation. That
Mhm.
is about an hour. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
So
you
yeah.
have music playing or something playing?
Either music or have noise canceling headphones, and it's
Oh.
like mind space where they have like a silent meditation. Like, all right, we're getting into it
Oh,
within the first 30 seconds and in the last 30 seconds of the hour.
okay.
So put it
I was reading something how I think I started reading one of the Joe Dispenza books. I can't remember the title of it, but he was
becoming superhuman.
that one.
Yep. See, I read your mind.
It's okay. Yes, you did. Look at you.
All right, send it to you.
Well, he was talking about how like putting on music is super beneficial.
It is.
Because I always do it just.
Because it changes your brainwaves. Think about it. Your brain starts adapting to it. Now, here's something more trippy. There's this place I want to go into in Virginia.
Mhm.
The same place that the CIA goes to, or maybe they stopped going there, but they did. It's called the Moreau Institute.
Mhm.
Where's this guy called Moreau? He messed around with this stuff in the 70s and 60s, and it's called binary beats.
Yeah.
Hemisync. Do you know what hemisync
I've heard
is?
that. Yeah.
So apparently your right brain and your left
Yeah.
brain have different frequencies to
Yeah.
it. But when you're able to sync them together, it becomes like a super brain. And that's when you have transcendental moments. That's when you have outer body experiences. That's when you have like, I don't know, telepathic abilities.
So it's with headphones that are playing different beats on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently they're like one's really loud, one is really low.
I have heard of that. I actually purchased. It reminds me, I should dig that back up again because I think I purchased like something that was specifically that.
You mean like the type of meditation?
Uh-huh.
Just go to YouTube. They have plenty of them.
Yeah, I know that now. At the time, I was like, "Oh, this is the one."
No, but it's trippy. Like, and there's like proven stuff, dude. I'll send you this video to watch where
Uh-huh.
they're like doing it. Like crazy stuff happens. Like I did it the first time I did it. My body was shaking again. Like that just means I have a surge of energy.
Yeah.
Like I don't really have like visual experiences, but I have like physical kinesthetic experiences where it's like
Yeah.
your body starts shaking. And afterwards, like when I got up, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So when you're having that body experience, is it just like energy that's flowing through the body,
Yeah.
or
I'm just having involuntary experience. Like my body just starts shaking or my hand
my
or
body does
my
that
head.
when I'm having Reiki done on me.
Yeah.
It twitches.
Yeah.
I don't
That
know
happens
why.
all the time. You're just releasing energy. Energy's coming out or going in.
It's interesting how some people don't do that and some do though. There's
Um,
got to be a reason.
yeah, you don't have energy buildup.
With the twitching.
You just don't have the energy buildup to you, or you don't need it.
Is this a your thought process, your theory, or is this a
No,
proven?
I've seen it at
Yeah?
meditation. Or the first time that people do it, that I've never meditated, they scream at the top of their voice and they fall to the floor like they're having a seizure for 5 minutes.
What?
Yeah,
This is the meditation thing that you're using? That they're
not
doing that?
per se. Like when they're doing meditation, they have like build up trauma
Oh,
and it needs
yeah.
to come out. They do the Kundalini breath.
Yeah.
Something happens to them where they've been hanging on to the subconscious and it gets released and has to go somewhere out of your body. So they just start yelling. It scared the shit out of me the
Yeah.
first time. Someone was right next to me doing it.
So trauma release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you feel? And they just started crying and hugged me. I was like, damn, this person's fucking in love with themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've seen those things happen.
happens.
But I mean, when it happens to me, it was just like, I don't know what it is, just some voluntary things. I've heard this happen to other people, but not the screaming. I've never had the screaming.
Yeah. Me neither.
But you just have to surrender yourself. And that's something like kind of very hard to do for some people. Like I'm still working on that.
Yeah. No, it's hard for
To the
most, I
moment.
would say. Yeah.
But yeah, you have any last thoughts? People should
No.
come see you.
Yeah. Come see me. Come try it out.
Yeah, and I'll
love
leave
it.
your information.
Yes.
Just you still have go to your website, set appointment. Super
I
easy.
don't have a website just yet.
But you have it through Facebook, right?
But I have, at Prema Wellness is on my Instagram.
Perfect.
You can set it up.
Yeah, I'll post it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Natalie, thank you for jumping on my podcast.
My pleasure.
And we'll catch you next time. Don't
Awesome.
forget to subscribe. Ciao.
Ciao.